Good morning. Today we are going to go over some study tips to help you become an even more successful student. If your definition of studying is the act of texting, eating, and watching TV with an open textbook nearby, this presentation has been made for you. One study tip is to make sure you preview. Review before class, skim over the chapter, review notes, summaries, and the chapter to make sure you are well prepared for the class. One tip is to make sure you preview before class. Review any notes One tip is to preview materials before class. Review any class notes, skim over the chapter, and make sure you're well prepared for today's lesson. After previewing, write out what you don't understand and ask the teacher questions so you receive clarification. It is very important to understand what you are studying. Make sure you know the meaning of all of the key words in the chapter. Good attendance is critical in becoming a good student. Make sure you are present in class every day. It is difficult to make up what you have missed. To help the brain remember what it has learned, you must study. When studying, repetition is the key. Go over the material various times so your brain can retrieve the information easily when needed. Ask questions such as why, how, and what if to ensure you have a good understanding of the material will help you remember it. Many study sessions are better than one long one when it comes time to doing well on the test. There are many study tips that can help you with studying. Some of those are chunking, which is putting information together that goes together, linking the information you're learning to something else that you already know. Put it to a tune, something that's real sing-songy, or to a rap beat to help your brain remember it. Repeat it out loud so that your brain can store it in two different places. You are hearing it and you are saying it, which will help you retrieve the information later when needed. Make a picture of the information if you're a visual person. This may help. And get quizzed by a parent or a fellow student to make sure you know all of the information that you've been studying. To show you how these study tips can be put to good use, we have a successful senior who is going to demonstrate how to do this. Note, no students were hurt in the making of this presentation.
Here are some government worksheets that Mr. Durso has provided for us and that you guys will be going over now or later on in the year. And we are going to give you some tips on how to effectively study for these worksheets and for your test. And so we got the Constitution scavenger hunt here and the amendment search. And here's what I did. I rewrote these into chunking my information from those two worksheets to help me effectively study. And I have here information about representatives, senators, the president, the Congress, and I went through, and this helps me effectively study each subject that I will be learning. Here are some tips that we will provide for you guys that will help you study. First is chunking the information. So with chunking, you're going to just put together all the information that makes sense about each topic, and that should help you out. The next is linking material, and with that you're going to link all the stuff that makes sense together and that stuff that goes together. And then next is putting a tune to it, so basically you're just going to make a song about it, and that should help you. Repeating it out loud multiple times, that'll help you sink it down into your brain and help you remember better. You can make a picture, so if you're into the artsy stuff, you can make a picture that'll help you memorize it. And then you can also get quizzed with a friend, and that'll help you memorize stuff. Alright, so first here we have the president, and the president must be 35 years or older, and he can serve up to serve a 4-year term up to 2 years. His main thing, up to 2 terms. He has 3 powers: the commander-in-chief, make treaties, and receive ambassadors. And off to the side here, we made a little note that Commander-in-Chief is the C, Receive Ambassadors is the A, and make treaties is a T, so you can easily remember that by linking CAT to Commander-in-Chief, make treaties, and receive ambassadors. Some other things that the President does is he does pardons and he appoints officers. Next here we have the House of Reps. They serve 2-year terms, and they must be 25 years or older in order to be a House of Representative, and they do charges for impeachment. And with House of Representative, we made a picture. One was study techniques. It was making a picture, so we made a picture here. It's up top here we have a 2-year term because that's how long that they can serve their terms, and down on bottom we have the age requirements. They must be 25 years or older. Then we drew a little picture off to the side, and this links back to the impeachment that they are able to do. And we drew a little saying that they have, and it says, "You're out of here." Up next here is a senator. The VP is over the senator. They serve 6-year terms compared to the president 4-year term and the House of Representatives 2-year term. Unlike the House of Representatives, they must be 30 years or older to be a senator. And they try as impeachment officials. They need 2/3 of vote. And then down here they need 2/3 of vote needed to approve a treaty. So you need to link these two together to try and remember that's a 2/3 vote. And then next we drew a graphic organizer of the VP. This of the senators, excuse me. And this is also another way that you can make a picture. And if this helps you, if this is more effective than drawing the picture, then you will probably want to make a graphic organizer. Up next here we have the Congress, and what the Congress does is they collect taxes, they coin money, and 2/3 needed to propose an amendment. You can connect these, the 2/3, also with the senator. And next we have declare war, foreign relations, post offices, regulate trade, and raise military. So up here we have collect taxes and collect coin. So you connect these two C's together, and then all you have to do is just remember the first letter in each of these, and then that'll help you remember declare war and then foreign relations, etc. They also writ of habeas corpus can be suspended for rebellion, invasion, and threat to public safety. And you can also remember these because writ and writ, although they're spelled differently, they are pronounced the same way. So you can connect these two things here because of the spelling and how they are pronounced. Up next we have amendments, and 2/3 of the Congress is needed to propose. And so once again you can connect 2/3 back to the previous 2/3 that we had before. And 3/4 of the states must approve the amendment for it to be ratified. And then ratify is sign or give consent to make it official. So if you don't know what ratify is or any other words and definitions, you want to make sure that you go back and whatever study technique you need to do, just go ahead and do that to learn the definition, because that is critical into understanding this. Alright, up first we have Amendment 1, which is the 5 basic individual liberties of freedom, which is freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of assembly, freedom of petition, and freedom of press. And you can help remember that by breaking it down into RASP, if that would help you, or you can reorganize those as any ways you can to help you remember. Down here we have some more definitions, and like I said, definitions are essential into knowing and breaking down each information. So which amendment gives Congress the power to tax a person's income? 16. And to help remember 16, when can you start working? When you're 16. So maybe you can link these two things together that'll help you remember this amendment. Up next is the only amendment to be repealed, which is 18. And the 18th Amendment is prohibition. And you can help remember this by 18. Whenever people turn 18, some people think that it is okay for them to start drinking, which is not true. It is 21, and so maybe you can tie those together because that amendment was repealed. Up next is which amendment was repealed, and that was the prohibition, which is the 21st. So tying back into the last amendment, People thought that you had to be 18 to drink. Well, that is not true. And whenever they repealed it, you had to be 20. The 21st Amendment was the one that was repealed, and that is also the legal drinking age. So maybe if you link those two together, that'll help you remember that as well. Amendment 8 is must be reasonable for the accused and cannot be cruel or unusual punishment. So to help maybe think of that one, the 8 has to be balanced on top and bottom, and so the punishment cannot be cruel or unusual, so maybe you can link those two things together. That'll help you remember. The next amendment is Amendment 22, and that states that the president cannot serve a period longer than 10 years because it would be too long. To help link those together, maybe you can tie the 2 into 22, and that'll help you remember Amendment 22. How to apply these tips to other classes. You have to think of what works for you. So go back to the tips that we learned at the beginning of the video, and whichever one works best for you, you can use that anywhere, any way you would like to help you study for other classes. Now let's share this info with another student and help them learn how to study effectively.